Many people are hanging bags of pennies from their porches for a critical purpose.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
The South has many traditions that don't make all that much sense to outsiders. However, walking down the streets of Georgia or Kentucky during the summertime would provide an even more perplexing sight for some from out of town. Ziploc bags full of pennies and water hanging from people's porches. Why on earth would people do this? When we finally found out, it made total sense.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
Two friends were chatting over a nice meal on the patio of one of their favorite restaurants when they noticed something strange that caught their eye. Ziploc baggies pinned to a post and a wall. Immediately, this peculiar sight piqued their interest. The bags were half filled with water, each contained 4 coins, and they were zipped shut, the woman recalled, going on to admit that, naturally, we were curious. So they decided to ask their waiter what the deal was. What the friends didn't know at this point was that the phenomenon is actually an extremely common one, at least in the southern United States. Such adornments can be found not only at restaurants and stores, but also hanging from residential windows and door frames, porches, and even trees. To the uninformed, this trend may seem pretty bizarre. What in the world would the purpose be? At first glance, it may appear to be a practice born out of superstition. After all, coins submerged in water have a long and storied history with many cultures. In ancient Europe, pious people used to make a habit of offering up tributes to the gods when they believed that the deities were displeased with them. The most common location for these gifts? Wells. And even today, the action continues, with people across the world making wishes by throwing coins into fountains. Of course, well, we all like to think that the pennies we throw into fountains are sacred. Come on, we spent our one wish on that. It turns out that these tossed coins can actually serve as a huge moneymaker. Just ask the Trevi Fountain in Rome. This popular tourist destination accumulates up to $4,500 worth of coins per day. Talk about a piggy bank. And in 2007, those in charge of the site decided to do something worthwhile with the money, donating the funds to worthy charities. Still, the explanation for the mysterious bags is more involved than mere superstition. It turns out that the odd fad came into widespread use after a single Facebook post on a group known as Hinch Army Cleaning Tips, full of followers devoted to an Instagram star named Sophie Hinchcliffe. The guru shares hacks for maintaining and organizing your home. But what could these bags filled with pennies and water possibly have to do with cleanliness? Well, it all goes back to a problem that isn't unique to the South per se, but one that occurs there at an alarming rate. Anyone who spent even one summer day south of the Mason-Dixon line knows that the weather can be pretty punishing at times. Especially in southeastern states such as Georgia or Florida, the days can run extremely hot and, even worse, very humid. Naturally then, cracking a window to let the breeze in seems like an obvious step. Nothing wrong with that, right? Well, unfortunately, for those in the know, there actually is. You see, while cooling down from the heat is necessary, even the simple act of opening a window can come with unwanted consequences, specifically flies, and lots of them. Nobody likes houseflies, but they're more than merely inconvenient or annoying. They can also carry a variety of diseases, some of which, like cholera or tuberculosis, are potentially lethal. Flies are also pretty gross. They thrive in disgusting environments like garbage, feces, and rotten food. And the worst part? Given that these pesky bugs are only 1/3 of an inch large on average, they're also incredibly skilled at getting into places they shouldn't, like window screens and cabinet. We don't have to tell you why this isn't ideal. Luckily, this is where the penny and the water-filled bags come in. You see, the answer that woman and her friends got from the waiter when they asked about the bags was quite simple. The owner told us that these baggies kept the flies away naturally. The perplexed customer thought it was too good to be true, so she stayed around to watch for herself. Sure enough, the bag seemed to work like a charm. We actually watched some flies come in the open window, stand around on the windowsill, and then fly out again. And there were no flies in the eating area, the satisfied diner raved. But how does this weird trick really work? According to the user who originally posted the hack online, flies don't like water, and they don't like the colors given off from the pennies. Flies have compound eyes, so the bags look like a giant body of water to them. Therefore, they leave. But is that truly the whole story? The science behind it is that flies have very big eyes compared to their bodies, making the pennies appear far, far larger than they are in reality when placed in the water. This is repellent to the flies because their vision is extremely sensitive. Evolutionarily, this serves as an interesting purpose. Given that the flies have lots of eyes, to them it's like a zillion disco balls reflecting light, colors, and movement in a dizzying manner. When you figure that flies are prey for many other bugs, animals, birds, etc., they simply don't take the risk of being around that much perceived action. explained one internet commenter. Many people across the South and even in other similarly toasty climates like Australia swear up and down that the trick works like a charm. The flies were bad while I was camping, recalled one horse trailer owner. I put the baggies with pennies above the door. Not one fly came into the trailer. This is certainly a genius hack for weathering the hot, buggy summer months, but for members of one profession, mosquitoes are the least of their warm weather worries. Recently, a strange new farming trend has emerged that has farmers everywhere painting eyes onto their cows' rear ends. As bizarre as it sounds, we promise it actually makes a lot of sense. The practice is based on that feeling you get when you're being watched, or worse, followed. It's how we imagine a mouse must feel right before it's gobbled up by a snake. There's something about that feeling that brings out our caveman instincts. When we feel threatened, we know one thing for sure: whatever's out there watching us must not be very friendly. We rely on that instinctive feeling to get us out of danger, but it doesn't always save us in time, especially when you're a huge, slow cow. Bovines aren't exactly known for their swift feet or clever minds, which puts them at a serious disadvantage in the wild. Cows are, after all, one of the most popular animals on the market, and not just in the human food chain. Please share this with your friends and family.